Thank you for this interview. My name is Sincha Dimara. I am the editor of Inside PNG. It is an independent online news service. It's made up of a group of journalists and content producers. We formed or started this company following our termination from our previous employment. So in 2022, I was head of news for a television station in Papua New Guinea, MTV. It is a subsidiary of the telecommunication company of Papua New Guinea. So in a sense, it is a government-owned television station. Now, I was head of news. I had a team of 24 journalists, camera operators, news anchors, online news journalists. So in total, we were 24 staff, and with me heading the news, 25. Now, in February of 2022, we were investigating a controversial drug dealer. He was an Australian living in Papua New Guinea. He was acquitted of drug charges, but he was convicted of firearm charges. Drug charges, he was acquitted because the laws in Papua New Guinea didn't apply to the dangerous drugs then. Right after he was acquitted, the laws changed. Tougher penalties were imposed on drug offenses. Now, in that time, when he was acquitted for the drug charges but convicted for the firearm charges, he was in jail in Papua New Guinea. And so we were following his story. Why? Because he was also doing something else. He did community service. So when he did community service, it kind of was telling two different stories. He was doing bad, but he was also doing good. That prompted us to find out and investigate. But then I was told by management not to touch a particular story. I questioned it. I then questioned it right away. I questioned it. I spoke with my staff, and we continued running our stories. That was when the management came down hard on me and suspended me. When I was issued a suspension, I made a point to my manager that you can suspend me, but you're going to have to deal with journalists. They questioned my suspension. They were then intimidated. They were threatened with employment. If you think about your jobs, they said, this is what I was told. They threatened the staff to the point that they said, you think about your jobs. They couldn't function in that environment that led them to walk off their jobs. They were then terminated. I was on suspension when my team was terminated. I returned after my suspension. I asked for my team back, but that was not accepted. So I was then issued a termination as well. When that happened, there was a new team put in place in the company. So when we left, there was a period of time when we just sat and thought, what do we do? And it was important that it was election year for us. It was the general elections in Papua New Guinea, 2022. And we felt that it was important for us to cover the elections and inform the people what was happening. And so the idea of Inside PNG was born. We were able to secure funding from donors. And I'd like to say thank you to those donors who helped us initially. We were able to cover the elections. I'm so humble and grateful and thankful for this award. It is the award for journalists of courage and impact. And for me, I feel I am receiving this award on behalf of this team that stood with me, stood by me, and stood for me. And we persevered. So I'm receiving it. It's my award, but I'd like to think that they are part of this award as well. And I feel that it is a award that really represents freedom of press, freedom of free speech, because that was what we fought for. We stood up for, and this award symbolizes that. Journalists of courage and impact symbolizes what we did. I am grateful and humble to East West Center for this award, for recognizing the work that we do as journalists. I want to, from the bottom of my heart, say thank you to East West Center for this award. The situation for women journalists in PNG it is challenging as well. It's two sides. There are women who face very tough situations, but they persevere, and they're very strong women who, despite some of the hardships that we face in Papua New Guinea, uh, they're very brave women. I could say they're very brave PNG women journalists who, you know, defy all obstacles and challenge. They persevere. They speak out. The many times they are put down, they abusive to them. They harass them. If they are not happy with the reports that the women do, they would try and target the women more than they target the men, because they feel it. They have the men who will want to attack women. They feel that women are vulnerable and they can do it. But there's some female journalists who stand up for their rights.